Welcome back to One Acadiana's Candidate Conversation Series. I'm Keely McGivney, and this is Andre Bro here on the team at One Acadiana. We're bringing you candidate conversations so that you can get to know those who are running to represent you for office across Lafayette Parish.
And for this conversation, we're getting to know Dr. Stasia Herbert McZeal, candidate for Lafayette Parish School Board District 2. Stasia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's get started with the basics. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in the community.
Well, I'm a resident of Lafayette Parish. My family moved to Carencro, which is the biggest part of the district, in 1979. And funny thing about me, I've attended every school in the district except Evangeline Elementary. I've attended Acadiana Middle before it became Acadiana Middle. I attended Carencro Elementary before it became Carencro Middle, and then I'm a graduate of Carencro High. I graduated from the University of Southwestern Louisiana. I have no degrees from the University of Louisiana Lafayette. I have an associate degree in criminal justice, a bachelor's in criminal justice, a master's in English, and a PhD in psychology. And I am a mom of 4 adults, and I have 5 grandchildren. We're waiting on our 6th to be born on Monday, and it's pretty exciting. I was a former president of the Lafayette Commission on the Needs of Women. I've been former president at the Family Tree, and I'm the most recent former president of Hearts of Hope. So pretty active in the community. When my daughter was in school, along with my son, my youngest son, they were he played basketball at Carencro High and graduated from Northside, and my daughter was a cheerleader for 7 years. So I'm happy I don't have to endure Friday night lights this time, because I'm sure it's going to be pretty hot under that beautiful sky on Friday nights. So that's what
Yeah, sorry. It's great to hear. It's great to hear more about you, learn more about you, and given all of that, what inspired you to run for school board? Why school board?
Well, even though I don't have any children in the school system, I've been a member of the Concerned Parent Group for a very long time. When my daughter was actually in the school system, she graduated in 2021, and to just hear some of the concerns, some of the issues that arise. I mean, parents are very concerned about policies. It's not that they don't want to follow the policies, they're more concerned about the policies not being stated in an earlier manner, and everything comes out at the same time. So I realized that, we need to have better lines of communication, and we need to really and truly support the people who are in the trenches. And I feel like I can do that impartially, because I don't, as they say, have a dog in the fight anymore. My kids are grown, my grandkids are wherever their parents choose to send them, but I can represent every child in Lafayette Parish school system, as well as the citizens of District 2. So I just think that it's the best time with me being able to give this my full attention for me.
Well, talk to us more about some of those issues you're hoping to address. What would be some of your priority focuses in the near term?
In the near term, open and transparent communication. We really need to be open to speaking with the parents, meeting the parents, listening to their ideas. I think sometimes we forget we're board members, but we also need to listen to those stakeholders, those families, those children, and we need to take into consideration their opinions as well as ideas. So open and transparent communication. I would like there to be no such thing as a D or an F school, because I would like all the schools in Lafayette Parish to be schools of academic excellence, so that every child gets the same rigor, the same attention, and they are leaving whatever school they choose to go to, knowing that they're prepared for wherever they're going after graduation. So instruction is very important to me, and I think we need to be a little transparent about the budget. We need to know where the money is going, where the funding is coming from, because I think sometimes we don't really think about it. I know, like, I teach in higher ed, and I know the students used to say, well, we pay y'all salaries, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but once you start learning that, yes, you pay X number of dollars for tuition, but think about it, does that tuition might pay, a portion of a utilities bill, a portion of a salary? And I think if we all understand where the funding comes from, where the money's going, people will be more receptive when we have to bring up that T word to the community. So communication, excellence in education, budget, and I'm taking care of the people that really take care of the students. Because I was thinking about it earlier. I said, the first kids students see when they get dropped off to a bus stop or go to school, usually the bus driver. So that's an important factor. That's an important person in this whole wheel organizational structure. And then they're with their teacher for 8 hours. So that's another portion of that 24-hour time frame. Then that bus driver drops them home again. And when you think about it, many times, especially during the academic year, if a kid has extracurricular, they spend a great deal of time with the employees at Lafayette Parish School System, because sometimes kids don't get home until 7, 8 o'clock, just in time to grab something to eat, take a bath, do some homework, and go to bed. So we have to take care of those people that take care of our kids. That would be your bus drivers, your, cafeteria workers, your custodians, your paras, everybody. And that's important to me because everybody should matter in the school system.
Well, great. And if we continue down this line, as you're looking years ahead for the school system, are there long-term priorities you feel the school board needs to stay focused on?
We're doing a great job. They've done a wonderful job of getting the funding, having the fundings available to build extensions on schools. We have new schools coming up. Prairie has a wonderful school. Here in Karen Crow, we have Karen Crow Bob Lilly Heights coming up. That's going to be a wonderful addition. So I think, we need to make sure, if we can't do a total new school, we have to find funding to make everybody comfortable in the building that they go to learn. So just making sure our infrastructure, like facilities, is up to date. There's no mold, there's no dust. Another thing too is very important. I don't think, as much as we try to wish, I think heat is never going away. I think we're getting closer and closer where this is going to be a norm. But how do we transport children to and from school and make them comfortable? I mean, when I was in school, yes, the bus would go down I-49 at 50 something miles an hour, and we were cool. It wasn't. That was 40 years ago. It wasn't this hot 40 years ago. This is a different type of sun. My great nephew tells me, he's like, and he's only 11, but he said this is a different type of sun. So for him to know that, but I think we need to start thinking about AC on the bus for children and bus drivers, to make sure that they're well taken care of. So I know funding is going to come up again. There's some issues related to football stadiums and all these things, but we really have to make sure that we're good stewards of the money so that we can address all the issues. So maybe that we have to pare some things down going forward.
Well, if the school board does their job, and if we do our job as an economic development organization, we hope to continue to grow the population of Lafayette Parish and bring more children into our school system. If you were talking to a family that was interested in moving here, what would you tell them about public education in the area?
Well, when my daughter was younger, she used to do pageants, and we would travel around to different states and meet different people. And the one thing I would tell the moms was that I would talk about the magnet academies that we have here in Lafayette Parish. And she hasn't done a pageant in 10 years, but they were always so amazed at that's a wonderful idea. You have a school focused on health. You have a school focused on information technology. Oh my goodness. So those are the little hidden jewels that we have. We have magnet academies that are just truly wonderful, but then we also have zone neighborhood schools. And when you do a zone school, it could be right in your neighborhood. And those are little hidden gems that people don't think about. But if we put our money back into those zone schools, we make sure they're on par with the magnet academies, then we can continue to grow options for families in Lafayette. The one thing I realized about Lafayette Parish is we have options here. Lots of places don't have as many options as we have. You know, when you think about it, yes, we have public schools, we have charter schools, we have private schools. Parents have options. How do we keep our kids at public schools? Because you have to offer the options, you have to work with the parents so that they understand how you apply to the magnet schools, how this whole process works. But I think that's the little hidden nuggets we have that we can tell people about, you know, that we're focused on growing these schools. We're focused on putting the best teachers in these schools. We're also focused on getting them up to par, up to standard with, you know, the country. I think, you know, if you think about it, 10 years, 10, 15 years from now, we may have, you know, almost new schools in Lafayette Parish. So we have a potential to continue to grow our public school systems just like our community is growing.
Before Keely asks you her last question, I'll ask you mine, which is really an opportunity for you to speak directly to the voters of District 2. Why should they vote for Dr. Stasia Herbert McZeal for school board?
Voters, you should vote for me, Dr. Stasia Herbert McZeal, for school board because I'm compassionate and I'm empathetic. I understand that every child deserves to have the same opportunity to excel. I am willing to be a sounding board for parents who don't feel like they are being heard by their child's school, by, you know, other people. I want to bring the board together and work collectively. One of my ideas is to have regular standing meetings with each board member, and we meet collectively and talk about what's going on in our district so that when we get to board meetings, we don't have to sit down and be surprised by some of these things because we've met, we've shared our positives, we've shared our negatives. But I think that we have to move forward. I am a dedicated leader. I lead a group of wonderful faculty members at South Louisiana Community College. I've been an educator for 23 years in higher education. I had to think about that. But even though I haven't been in K-12, I understand the components of being a teacher. I understand meeting the needs of kids, meeting people where they are. And I want to continue to really grow children in Lafayette Parish because every child deserves to have an opportunity to be a vibrant citizen in this community.
Well, thank you. We truly appreciate you making the time to help the community get to know you. And on that note, my last question is, how can voters engage with you? How can they get more information before they head to the ballot box in October?
Well, I have a website. It's Herbert, Herbert, for schoolboard.com. And there's some information on there about me. You can find a contact number on the website for me too. So if you want me to go talk to your group, if you want me to go and meet with you, I don't mind going to coffee at CC's or Starbucks. So I'm willing to do that. But the website is a great way. And if you forget, it looks like A Bear. So you look for Stasia A Bear McZeal on the ballot, but my number is 102. But I'm going to be around in the community trying to reach as many people as possible and knocking on some doors. So we'll be wearing blue shirts and we'll be sweating in this wonderful heat here in South Louisiana.
Well, great. Thank you so much, everyone. That was Dr. Stasia Herbert McZeal joining us. She's a candidate for Lafayette Parish School Board District 2. Stasia, thank you so much for joining us. Again, we appreciate your time and good luck in the fall.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Y'all have a great day.